words to remind you of your purpose. There's power in life of the life of books. The life of books. The life of books. The life of the life of books. 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 The life of books.
Welcome to the Life of Books on WLVS Online. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are right in the heart of Washington, D.C., coming to you vibrant, happy, and excited this morning. Yes. The bell too far. We know that Saturday mornings are a sacrifice, and we promise you that the wealth of wisdom that we possess and we've walked in will make your sacrifice worth every minute. Again, on behalf of myself, Dr. Nakia Wright, I welcome you to the Life of Books online radio show. We have prepped and prepared such a great moment for you on today. We are not reading a book. We are having our Herversation panel. And this is one of those moments that's very intimate to me because I get to I always find out something about the ladies that I share life with that I didn't already know. So I am excited, and without further ado, I will allow the ladies to introduce themselves to you before we go, starting with Sharma here.
Charmonique Bynum.
Marcy Thompson.
Yes.
Tashia Hodge.
Diane Smith.
Shalonda Williams.
My name is Tamika Henry.
Yes. It's exciting. We are going on 5 years into this journey. Amazing. And it has been one of the best journeys that I can recall. I'm so grateful for this, yes. On behalf of the place that we worship, the gathering at Forestville, who prepped us to be out on the forefront. Yes. And our wonderful, yes. Our wonderful, bold, trailblazing general leader, Bishop Donald Wright.
Come on.
Yes. Who prepared us to be fearless, who prepared us to live out loud, who prepared us to be an answer in the earth. We honor and salute him on today.
Yes.
Yes. So today, we're going from 0 to 10. We're going to talk about intimate places of our heart. We're going to talk about our favorite beauty products. We are going to talk about our favorite books, our hype songs. So we are going to get started. Again, welcome to the WLVS online viewers. Welcome to all of our social media audiences. If you can share this with your network, I promise you, you're going to get an offering for this one. And by the way, anytime during the day, if you want to send us a cash app for some of the things that we say, you can just send it to me. It's LNRW. That's my cash app. LNRW. Sow seed. I promise you sowing on good ground. And make sure y'all write it in the comment section, y'all. I'm going to split it.
Who is the offering for?
Let me tell you something.
Sorry, put that in the notes.
Let me tell you something.
Put that in the notes.
No. This is how it works. We are one. So, therefore, we're going to take the tithe and we're gonna pay our tithe in the morning. And then if you send enough, we're going to all get a $100 envelope. And then we're going to split the rest.
That's going to be a serious cash
That's a
out.
cash
That's a serious
You better ask for what you want. I'm prophesying over these cash apps. Prophesying.
We got a kid.
So you'll see us do a few things throughout the day. You'll see us ring a bell. And whenever someone says something that's profound or wakes something up in us, we'll ring the bell just to touch and agree. And then I am going to sow seed on good words. So you'll see me, give somebody a few dollars throughout the morning. It's because they said something that I felt like was worthy of a seed to be sown. Right now it's dollars. Next month it may be $5. I'm working my way up. I'm working my way up.
I'm about to get my notes together.
I got my notes.
So good.
Elaborate.
It's so great. It's so great to share this journey with a group of women that says God is able, but if He don't, and the fact that we all are still able, and the consistency to go forward with even if He don't, I'll still serve Him. It gives me honor to sit with these women. And today we're gonna start the topic off with. We've been on this journey, like I said, for almost 5 years. And I just want you to share the sentiments of your heart of what has it been for you. Mika's a newcomer, but whatever your tenure is, what has it been to you to be out on the forefront? Because for many of us, with the exception of our praise and worship leader, she's ministered through her gift, but many of us haven't been on the forefront using our words to be an answer in the earth. So starting with you, Tashia, what has the journey been for you for the last couple of years?
Wait a minute, that was one of our questions, right?
Yes.
She has her notes.
I know.
She has her notes.
We do. I never want anyone to be unprepared. So we do have, note. I gave each of the ladies some questions that we would discuss today. So she's going through her book to find the answers for her questions.
I think I wrote down something very good.
All right.
And there it is. The 5th year for me, I've enjoyed mostly has been our talk.
Can you hear me? Testing. The journey for me, I mostly enjoyed our talks. We have a group box, and sometimes, unbeknownst to the ladies, when they get on, they'll say something funny or deep, or it's always timely with them. And so these are some resilient and phenomenal women who I love and cherish, and I admonish. So when we do talk, it's always leaving me, thought-provoking or just in a better place. So for me, it's been great and successful, and it's the togetherness that I admire more from you ladies, because it's been like a God breathe on all of us, this idea. And it's always said, look on us. And so it's just, so it's just a great group of women that I like. I like you guys, you know that? Saturday morning, 8 a.m. You better bet. This is a sacrifice. I'm not a morning person. But the journey for me has been very enlightening. Very, very enlightening.
Amen. Yeah. Before we go on, let me apologize. Behind the camera, because this is not all of us, behind the camera we have Laura Bell and we have Hadassah. Come on. And they keep us.
Oh, there
They
go.
there they go. For social media, y'all should turn the camera on yourselves. It's always the people behind the scenes that are really great that make us look good, and they are behind the scenes making us look great. So thank you, ladies, for all of your sacrifices. Yes. Marcy?
So, this journey, specifically to a life of books, I've appreciated, of course, reading different books, getting different perspectives from our conversations, but it has also been sort of a moment of accountability. So we all are committed to showing up. We all have been committed to reading the books, and just to watch that level of commitment consistently has really blessed me in the journey.
Amen.
You know, we haven't let one of us slip. Like in this time, the circle is not broken.
Amen.
And so that's a blessing to me. I mean, you think about people who start out in journeys, whatever they are, whatever the relationships are, marriages, friendships, jobs, and then you look up, it's broken, you have nothing to even reach back and hold on to. Like, there are moments that I can look through my notes, go back in my mind and just say, that was pivotal to me. That was impactful to me. So just being exposed to this group at a deeper level has been, you know, rich for my life.
Amen. Amen.
So for me, one word came to mind, and it was growth. So I feel like since we've done this, it has kind of pushed us into a place where obviously we weren't comfortable, but that poured over into the rest of our lives. So like for Marcy, she took a class and got a certificate, and then she stepped out into doing another book. You know, for Laura, she started her own bookmark line. Like, everybody has done something different since we've started it. It's just like the moment has almost forced us to open up ourselves to the different gifts that are in us. That maybe we knew they were in there, but we weren't sure how to get it out. So this platform has sort of just, you know, gave us the little push that we needed to become a little more, you know? So for me, it was growth.
Amen.
You know, I look back 5 years ago where we all were, like, it's kind of like, wow, we're not the same people that we were then. So, yeah.
That's good. Yes.
I said that this group right here, being a part of this group, I got a little mic to Mika right here. I'm saying
I was wondering the same thing.
Mika said, I ain't special.
Mika, next time.
No, Mika, we gotta talk a little more.
I'm sorry, I'm a little fancy this morning.
I didn't choose.
I'm sorry. Oh, it's all right, Mika. It's all right. It's fine.
That's your own mic. You got one now.
Listen.
Because you're on the breast.
No. Yeah. Thank you, Nikia. Thank you. I said that one of the things I enjoyed is getting to connect with strong women, learning from them, and engaging fully with them. And one thing for me is that with my job and everything that I do, I don't always get moments to connect, you know, because it's so overwhelming at times. And for me, creating memories that will last a lifetime, that is so impactful to me. That I can go back and say, you know what, I remember when this person said that, and I'll live with that, you know, forever. I can take that with me. And nobody, I don't care what anybody says, nobody can take this away from us. It is ours.
You better say it. I love that.
Own it.
Ours.
It's our story. And I'm excited about it. I'm waiting to see what's happening next, you know, so that's what I
I feel like we should be singing like a family song.
Yes, we should.
It's a family affair. This is a moment, right?
Yeah, we should. But that's what it's been for
I
me.
love it. That's so good. D?
I've loved several things, one of which I've enjoyed seeing us own our voice. I think that it's forced us out of hiding in so many ways. I think we all yield to the dimension of ourselves that we enjoy, or that is comfortable to us, and being able to put yourself on display and evolve publicly is not for the faint of heart. So I've enjoyed seeing us just be the different elements that we are, and see how it's collectively sharpened us all.
Amen. That's good. Mika?
When I think about AWV, I gave a lot of attention to how much energy you give what you call a thing. And so a woman's voice is really powerful because voice often stands as the unopened birthright. Like it's this gift that we never open up. And the 5 years that you all have been in existence has afforded me the privilege of finding my own voice, recognizing the power that it has, and using it to empower others. I think AWV serves as a platform. You teach others how to serve by sharing, being transparent, and letting people know that sharing your life experiences, sharing life lessons, sharing hardships, and it speaks as a light in a dark place for somebody that doesn't believe they're going to be able to make it. Transparency is not easy, but this is a panel of women that doesn't mind doing that, and it's something that you don't find often.
That's so good. Amen. For me, when I look at each one of us, I feel like that it woke up a hunger and a desire in us. None of us are at our pivotal moments in our life. I don't believe that any of us are at our promised place. And this is the journey to promise. And I believe that the Life of Books, A Woman's Voice, has helped us not to get weary in well-doing on the road to promise. Because there's no length of time. We never know the time of how long it's going to take for God to do what it is that he's going to do in our lives. And these moments had allowed us not to give up, not to be comfortable, not allow life to lull us to sleep. And I've appreciated the moment. These moments remind me that through the joy and the happiness that we share, that there is a level of joy and happiness that only promise can bring. And these moments are motivation to get there, because while this feels great, there's greater that awaits us, and it keeps the hunger alive to see that moment manifested. So I appreciate this yes from each one of you. I've enjoyed the journey. I have not always been comfortable with being out front, but I've enjoyed not being afraid to be first. And that's what we've been trained for. So I am grateful. Oftentimes testimonies feel like sacrifices. And you often feel like it is a testimony, but it feels like it feels like I'm being sacrificed again. And this has made the sacrifice worth it. And I never thought that I'd say that. I thought that I would always have a God, I thank you, but I didn't want to be church and religion and say it was worth it, because there's some things on the journey that I lost that I could never get back. But I appreciate it. It has been great. It has been enriching. It's changed my life. It's changed how I looked at me. It's changed how I looked at the world. And it's definitely changed how I looked at my circle of influence. I thank God because I'm surrounded by greatness. And you ladies mean the world to me. Thank you. It's been great. It's been wonderful. No crying. No crying. No crying. I know. I got one in the car. I just didn't bring it in. So after being all deep and emotional, I said that. I know. Again, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Life of Books. We are the #1 online radio show on WLVS Radio, located right in the heart of Washington, D.C. Thank you so very much. I would say right across the street from Howard University. But yeah, she's so dry with it. I love her. She's a professor. Howard. I know, right? She is a professor at Howard, and she only representing real. We're gonna try again at 10 o'clock. We're gonna try at 10 o'clock. And it's like it's too early. It's like it's too early. I do want to thank everyone who's listening for how you sow into the Life of Books. We have received so many of your book entries, and I want to thank you so very much. Unfortunately, what happens is we put our book list together at the beginning of the year, and our book list is complete for 2018. But what I've decided to do is for all of you who have sent your books in and asked for consideration to be on the Life of Books, that each week we will do, each month we will do a suggested reading list, and we will include your book on that suggested reading list on all of our AWV Empower pages. That's what A Woman's Voice social media pages are. It's AWV Empowers. And each month we'll put a suggested reading list and include those books that time will not allow us to discuss. I hope that that brings you some sort of satisfaction. One thing I don't want to do is have anyone feel overlooked. So if you have a book that you would like to be submitted on the suggested reading list, please DM us. Let us know. We'll provide you a mailing address, and we'll be happy to promote your read. Okay?
Wonderful.
Yes. Nice. Over here. While we have been sharing our hype song and our journey, one of the things that people don't really, even though we're really close together, you very rarely do you hear how somebody feels about you. So I gave the task of asking each of the ladies to describe each of us in one word and why. So we'll start with you, Marcy.
All right, so I'm going to start with Mika. So my word for Mika was orator. She is like an ultimate communicator, and I love that about her. Often I will text her and run a couple things, like when I'm working on presentations and things, I'll run it by Mika, and she'll, no, fix that, because she's a teacher. So look, my answer is in the group.
Yes,
Always.
Lord.
My answer is always in the group.
Yes,
In the
Lord.
group. So, Lady Wright, I said hype, but I meant lively. So I used the word hype, but she is lively, loving. I used two words. Charmy, faithful, consistent, always there. D, loyal. Tashia, loving. Shalonda. So my first word for Shalonda was non-responsive on text.
And email.
Shalonda is on the text and the email.
That's one word.
And Basecamp.
But listen, so that was my first because I'm shady and this is who we are to each other. You know, she's a Thompson by, she's an honorary Thompson, you know. But my word for her would be all in.
Amen.
So when I think of her, it's just like, when you see her worshiping, it's just like, it's all in. All in.
Good.
So those are my words.
Yes. Tashia.
Okay, here we go. One word.
Just one.
Shami. I definitely put friend beside that.
Amen.
Shami has a way of taking the sting out of everything in my life for some reason. I call Shami in panic mode. She was smoothing.
That's a word. That's good.
She smooths things so in my life.
I don't know about you.
I don't know about nobody else, but let me tell you, she has come through.
Yes, Lord.
D, I put committed. D is such, she's just so committed. And I put seer. She sees what others don't see in you. D has a way of looking so far beyond their outer layers of you and straight to your heart. Marcy is my influencer. Marcy has a way with words that will compel you to. You leave Marcy's space as a conqueror. You be like, I can do it because Marcy said I can do it. She just has this way. She's such an influencer, and I love her.
Amen.
I put keen for Shalon. Shalon is such a thinker. She's just always thinking. Even when she's singing, she's thinking. She's like, oh, yeah, right there. She always, stuff just clicks at a moment's notice for her. She's very sharp on her feet. Tamika, I put soft-spoken. She's always so quiet, and she's very outgoing, but she's a soft power. Amen. Laura, I put favorite. Laura could call anybody. They were like, yeah, just give Laura stuff for the They just give Laura resourceful. Yes. Hadassah, everybody know that's my daughter. She keeps me on my toes as well. Hadassah sends stuff that I know you didn't see this because you didn't respond. So, she just keeps me,
AKA administrative assistant.
right, like, she keeps me abreast. Yes, CAA. Hadassah keeps me abreast on everything. And I put for Nakia, believer. She believes everyone deserves to be great, and she will not stop until you do.
Amen.
Until you are.
That's good. Charmy.
I got it.
So I put for D, I put a pusher. D is like everybody's pusher. She encourages everyone. She's always praying for everyone, believing in everyone. Like, she will get behind you and just be like, go. So I love that. For Ty, I put steady. She never wavers in my life. Like, she's always there, always, even when I don't want her to be. My word. So I put for Marcy, I put she's a bond woman. She's a woman of her word. If she ever tells you she gonna do something, she gonna do it no matter how she feels, no matter if she wishes she had taken a little time to think about it and go, but because she told you she would, she gonna do it.
Yes.
For Shalonda, I put passionate. Like, the same way, like, she can get angry quick, but she worships with the same intensity. She's a friend with the same intensity. Like, she's passionate. So for Tamika, I put genuine. Like, I never have to wonder with Tamika. You know what I mean? Like, and for Nakia, I put unflinching. And I actually looked it up just because, and it said not showing fear or hesitation in the face of danger or difficulty.
Wow.
Amen.
I don't care what Nakia goes through, you will never see her sweat.
Amen.
So she's unflinching.
Lynching.
Dictionary words, girl. You gotta read, Sean.
She won't let you flinch.
I don't want to go.
Wait. You need to always be ready. Listen, because you never know when you're going to be, like, we're in the mall, and it's just like she takes off walking fast. I'm like, what's happening? It's something happening up there. She is like, it was a domestic issue about to take place, and I'm like, wait, I need you to say that we about to be in a fight or something. She just takes off. No warning, so you need to be ready when you with her.
Please let me say something. I remember one time, Nakia and I was coming down, what street is that? Pennsylvania Avenue, but we were on the DC side. And a lady was arguing with, I don't know, her boyfriend, husband. And Nakia is like, slow down. I'm like, for what? I thought Nakia was going to hop out the car. She rolled down the window. It's not worth it, baby. Y'all stop. I'm like, what is happening? Like, it's too much.
We in the mall, and we're just walking casually. Unflinching. We're just walking, and I think we're even in a conversation, and it's just like, it's like she's keen because she just zoned in on it. I'm like, what? Detective Wright. That's another word.
Where did you just go?
I'm like, what happened? I mean, she just picked up her pace, and she walked up to the couple that's engaged in a conversation, and she didn't. Are you all right? She looked. She stopped the woman. Are you all right? And the man is looking like, who? And the woman is like, yes, thank you. You saved me. You know, it's like she.
That's what she is.
Well, she just sort of inserted light into that darkness, right? And so, but you got to be ready for her because you just never know. You got to be ready.
I love it.
Unflinching.
I'm gonna pick up and I'm gonna pick up and do my explanation since they going there. Okay. And I'm gonna start with Charmy. I actually used the word committed. There's not ever been a time in my life that I needed her and she wasn't there. And as if I couldn't love her anymore, last night she just proved to me how much I love her. I have, my house is, as you already know, my house stays full of young men because of my man-child. And he's probably listening. He's going to kill me. But nobody knows you that knows what I'm about to say. And one of the young men that stays at our house consistently got jumped by older men. And he got beat up really bad. And his mom is not the best mom in the world. She's only 16, and she put him out like a year ago. So he sleeps in laundry rooms. And so he left our home because I thought that she had let him come back, but she didn't. And I called Charmy, and I was extremely upset. And I was fighting with the fact that why wasn't he at my home? If he was at my home, this would not have happened. Charmy got in her car at 11 o'clock at night and went to every laundromat in Forest Creek Apartments looking for this young man. She went all through Forestville asking anybody if they seen him. That level of commitment to the things that matter to my heart, I could never, ever pay her enough for what she does for me. I love you, Charmy, so much.
Y'all trying to get a tea out of me today. Ain't happening.
And then look, these two are group because Tashia, like, when you find them, bring them to my house, you can just stay with me. Like, they ain't gonna be in no more laundromats. These two right here, I love them. For Tashia, I put vivacious. Everybody needs a Tashia. Even when life happens in her world, she still brings life to yours. And I love her vivacious. I mean, everybody needs her. She like your own personal hype man. You don't have a song, just call Tashia. She's be ye ready always. She always ready. And she's so witty. I mean, I love her. For Tamika, I put passionate. I mean, Tamika, every word she says, can't you feel it? I mean, she's so passionate.
Can't you feel it?
I mean, Churchill, I don't know what you about to get into, but I hope you're ready to. Look, you might want to start running like 10 miles a day. Because let me tell you something. This passion that this woman possesses right here, you're not ready. Yes.
That's now.
For D, I put safe. She is my safe place. I feel like there's nothing that I can't go to her with that's not safe. And everybody needs the safety of her heart that she offers. So for me, she's safe. Shalonda, I put unique. If you don't know her, you would never understand her. But she is like the absolute get on your nerve greatest person ever in the world. I mean, and this is what it is. This is what greatness looks like. It's typically never understood from the outside. But this is what greatness looks like. Oh my, it's so complicated. What? Oh my goodness.
Greatness is complicated.
Greatness is complicated. That's a shirt. It is. And it is attached to a level of insanity. Because you cannot be great and be sane. Because you have, in order to achieve greatness, you have to think outside the box. You have to think in a way that nobody else thinks, which means your mind has to go places that other people's minds do not. That's why if without worship, without the balance of God in your life, greatness is typically not in their right mind. So look, everybody that's great, and you ain't been to church in like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Sundays, go. You need the balance of greatness to keep you stable.
That's a word.
That's
a word.
For Marcy, I put consistent. There's one person that you have to go to in your life that you know what you're going to get when you go to her. It's not like, oh God, what am I going to get today? The consistency of her walk makes people be drawn to her. So I put consistent for her. Laura, everybody's everything. I've not ever asked Laura for nothing that she said no to when I know that she wanted to say no. She is everybody's everything, and she does it with just a level of love and a level of humbleness and a level of gratitude. Oh, just the fact that you asked me, I don't ever want to let you down. Everybody is safe in Laura's hands. For Heidi, I put quiet power.
Yeah, she is.
She got this quiet power, but let me tell you something. If you ever in a crunch, if you ever in the bind, if you're ever in the crossroads of life, Hattie right there, that quiet power.
Yes,
Boom.
she is. Yes, she
Yes.
is. Yes, she is.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
she is.
For those of you that's just joining in, we're doing our Herversation panel, and I am very big, Bishop taught us this, I'm very big on making sure that the people around you, that you utilize the people eulogize people while they are alive. Let them hear how you feel about them in the land of the living. So these moments that we share such close lives with offers us a moment where we're at home in front of our fireplaces talking to each one of ourselves, letting you listen. So this is one of those moments where we're just sharing the sentiments of our hearts, and it is my hope that you do this with the people that you love. Text them, call them when you see them, have dinner with them. Let them know what you mean to them while they can appreciate your words. Shalonda?
Yes. I'm going to start with Marcy. I put next to Marcy, she is a pusher because she helps everybody around her. She does not let you be where you are. If there's something she sees in you, she's gonna force it out of you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what you need? Oh, I got that. Are you good? Not good? I got you. I'm gonna make sure you're all right. So that's one of the things I love about Marcy. For Nakia, I put she is a motivator. She will push you and affect change in your life. She will make impact no matter what, even if you don't want it. She's gonna impact your world. You know what I mean? For Tamika, I put comfort. Her words engulf you and bring you safety. Yeah. You know, like let me tell you what Tamika did. Did it? Let me tell you what Tamika did on my birthday. So she came, and you know I'm real. I ain't crying. You know I'm not gonna do that, right? Tamika opened up her mouth. I'm literally at the table bawling. You understand what I'm saying? She has a way with her words that just touch you in a deep place, and you just like, where did you come from? Get out my face. I don't like you right now. Tata, I said she is real. She speaks with authenticity. No matter what it is, if you want the real, you ask Tata. She ain't gonna sugarcoat it for you. She ain't gonna miss no words. No. It is what it is. And one thing I can always say, she's always there in your time of need. Whatever you need, Tata can do it. She got your back with it. Charmy, I said she is reliable, always consistent. Elder D, I put 2 words. I said she's God's footstool. Okay. Listen.
Stop it.
You heard Elder D pray.
Yeah.
Have you heard her pray? Now, if you have ever heard her pray, then you know she is at the feet of God. She's right. She knows God. Okay?
If she's ever written you a card,
I keep it every card.
Every last one.
the words out of her mouth are life.
Life gives. Yes.
I love it.
I love you guys.
Good. D.
All right, who I'm gonna start with? I'm gonna start with Tamika, wordsmith.
Amen.
If we only understood the power of our words, and you mark hearts every time you open your mouth.
Amen.
Shalonda, I called you thunder. See, I was gonna call you passion, but Shami took that word, and the reason why I call you thunder is because you're a force to be reckoned with.
Yes, Lord.
When you show up and you offer yourself without reservation, you shake everything you touch.
Amen.
And it's a powerful grace to have.
Yes, thunder.
Yes, now. Yes, now.
Let me write that down.
Yes, now. Yes, now. Yes. She know I affectionately call her
This why I need to
passion
go to the
partner.
altar because I thought about a stripper. Like,
That's thunder.
Yes. Thunder.
I don't want to strip.
And I call Nakia electric.
amen.
And the reason why I call you electric is you stir everything you touch. Nothing is allowed to be dead or dry or mundane in your midst. People encounter your electric before you even open your mouth. So that's why I call you electric. Shami, I'm calling you what we know as a religious term, but it's so much bigger, missionary.
Yes.
We would solve so many world problems if people had the heart of a missionary.
Yes,
And that's
Lord.
you. You are truly a world changer.
Yes, world changer.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. And Miss Marcy, I called you strategist and benevolence.
All right,
You know
benevolence.
you're my benevolence partner. Look, you want anything to happen that requires seeds, see Marcy.
Amen.
And what I love is, and I think we share this in common, our benevolence has nothing to do with whether we like you or not. It has to do with getting the objective done.
Amen.
So, and why I call you strategist? Your mind connects the dots extremely well.
Amen.
You're able to put action to thought, and most of us miss that. So I love that. And Miss Tatia, I called you vivacious.
Yes, vivacious.
Listen
We had the same word first.
Yeah, we did, because it's hard to encounter Tashia and remain dry, remain down and out.
Yes.
She will pull out your magnetic without even realizing it's there.
Yes, magnetic. Yes.
Hattie, I call kindred. She is very much a kindred spirit to me.
Amen.
When Nakia called her quiet power, she has no clue the power that she possesses.
Amen.
And for Miss Laura, empathetic.
Yes.
You truly are empathy in flesh.
Amen.
Wow.
Amen.
Did I miss anyone? I don't
No.
think I want to make sure.
Jacob, I mean, you going.
Today.
DJ extraordinaire.
Jacob is our executive director overseeing the show today for WLVS. Yes.
I thought Jacob and I was cool until he kept playing that song.
Yeah.
Jacob, she look like she want to keep
Mika.
Okay, so at this point, I feel like my words are probably gonna just affirm what's been said.
Amen.
Shalonda, you are a fierce force, boundless. You're often trusted with the tall order of establishing order in chaos.
Gone, girl. That's great.
Nakia, I had two. Fashionable, but this is the one I endear the most. Ambitious dreamer. You are handcuffed with vision that forces dependence on God and others. And like that weight, but you're not afraid to make your dreams come true. I love that. Tashia, quick-witted, clever, and discerning.
Yes,
don't
quick-witted.
ask the question if you don't want the real answer.
That is the truth.
Lady D, inspiring, charismatic, captivating, and balanced. It's not, I can admire your depth, but I love your silly. Right? I think you're a model of balance.
Thank you.
Amen.
So
Thank
good.
you.
Marcy, immediately influential. If you say it, I believe it just because you said it. I believe it because you said it. Like, Marcy can tell a dolphin to climb a tree and it'll do it, right? Because
Marcy said I can do it.
and I don't know what that is. Like,
Hashtag Marcy said it.
Marcy said
Hashtag
it. Marcy said it.
I love it.
And hence the title of your book, Get It Done.
Yes.
I was like, oh, Marcy done told me to do it.
Yes.
I have to. Charmin.
Hashtag Marcy said it.
Charmin, you are sheer energy. I admire your capacity to transform for what the moment requires. Without skipping a beat, you become it. Before I even recognize there's a link missing, you're already the link. Right? And I admire that. At first, before I got to know her, trust was an issue. I was like, she always changes. Right? She always, one minute she does, I don't know, I can't read Shami right. But I understand it as a strength, and I love how you create harmony.
Yeah.
Where it wouldn't otherwise exist.
So good.
Hadassah, fresh air, sophisticated,
Yes,
suave,
she
and
is.
self-assured.
Yeah.
That's like what I look at, right? Like, come on. It's good. And she recently became a model of courage for me. Like,
Courage.
there's the fear, bust through it.
Yeah.
And I saw you do it, and it blessed my life.
Amen.
Laura, selfless, creative, and supportive. You're an anchor, but you are able to interpret the heart of a matter and then express it.
Amen.
And I love
Very
that
good.
about you.
Amen. Y'all gonna make Laura cry all morning. She's been wiping tears like all morning. That's so good. That's good, ladies. That is so good. And again, I encourage you, the people in your life, let them know how much you love them and why. It is, your words matter, and it is very, very important that people hear the things that they mean to you in the land of the living. When I'm dead in the grave and you telling everybody else what I meant to you, it means nothing to me today. So again, I challenge you to tell the people that you love often what they mean to you.
So good.
Yes. Each one of us are here because for whatever reason. And each one of us have our own individual motivation that got us where we are today. If you could share with us one piece of advice that someone gave you that you've held on to it from the day that you heard it, what would that be? And I'll start with you, Tamika.
Everything that you're looking for is already inside of you.
Amen.
That has been the narrow lens that I choose to look through. Someone told me that when I went to college, when I left home and went to undergrad, says everything you're gonna look for is already inside of you. Of course I looked, but it was that word that I circled back to understand that I was trying to be like him and her and them, but they needed what I had.
Yes.
So that was the advice for me.
That's good. Shalonda.
I would say that for me, one thing, I was talking to Bishop one day about some things going on in life, and he said two words, many words, but these two stuck out to me. He said, be fluid. A lot of times we have this rigid, like I have to be in control. I have to do it my way, or I see it this way, and I want to control how that outcome gets there. But you can't do that sometimes in life. And he just said, be fluid and just let it go. And then, after that, things fall in place. I mean, listen, because me personally, there is nothing fluid sometimes. I can get into a place where it's just like, I'm not going to do it. You can't make me do it. I'm not going to.
No! Don't! You said it so!
I know the step. She's aware. Look, I'm fully aware of who I am. I am fully aware. It's not always a good thing, but listen, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it, and you cannot make me do that. And when Bishop said that, it's like, okay, Bishop, I hear you, and I'm going to get my life together on today.
Amen. Yes. Charmy.
So mine came from Bishop Wright.
Always.
So he said it last night, but I remember him saying it long ago, like almost right when I first got saved. He said, God doesn't have to heal you to use you. And so it did many things for me. So the first thing is that it kind of gave me the liberty to still trust God for the walk, even with the things that I have going on. Of course, it does not give you a license for anything, but so often people feel like, well, I'm broken, I can't do that, and that like goes over into every part of your life. Well, I'll start doing this when I can get my life together, or I'll start doing that when I can afford it, or no, like you don't have to be whole or healed or whatever you feel like your idea of perfection is to obtain the promise. Like, you don't have to be. So then it also did another thing for me. It gave me balance. And I feel like, not trying to like toot my own horn or anything like that. But I feel like that's one of the things that makes it easy for me to serve anybody, because you can be as flawed as you want. But when you are being used by God, I don't care if you're an usher. I don't care if you are a random person off the street and maybe God told you to say something. Like, it doesn't matter, because God can use anybody.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we take everything with a grain of salt. Like, you still have to, discern and look at stuff. But I'm just saying, as it is right up front in your face, like, he doesn't have to heal anybody to use them.
Amen.
So it takes the brakes off of me and them, because I have balance.
That's so good.
You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Lord, I pray that Deacon Tucker drop a word in Deacon Tucker heart tonight, and he minister to Sharmi tomorrow, because I want to see it. Because God said he can use anybody. I want to see what you're going to do.
And I'm going to listen.
Wait.
I'm going to listen. Deacon Taco?
Yes, Deacon Tucker, come on.
I know, I'm like, okay, inside joke.
Is this the insider that you don't know about?
No, it's the truth.
Gonna be tested about it.
Every word going to be tested. I'm trying to be tested.
It already has.
Heaven help us.
It's not. It's inside. It's the truth.
God is coming after that word.
He already has.
Oh, Lord.
Many times.
Mercy.
Okay, well, Bishop said something some time ago, and it has stuck with me, and I go back to the note often, maybe even twice a week. But he said, desire is no substitute for preparation.
Yes.
It just,
That's a word right
no
there.
no context needed. That's it.
That's it.
You know, and it's the greatest advice. And when you start, you know, I'm a starter.
Yeah.
I'm a starter, right? So the goal is to be a finisher. Let me just talk about my truth. Let me just talk about my truth. And
That's
you know,
good.
you just you want to see things happen. Personally, I want to see things. I want to do things in a spirit of excellence, and you know, sometimes the desire is there, but it will not manifest,
That's
whatever
good,
it
Marcy.
is, without being prepared.
That's the
And
truth.
so, you know,
That's
I
the
guess
truth.
my advice after that advice is to look, don't kick against preparation.
Don't kick against preparation. That's good.
That's the truth.
Oh, what was the question?
Greatest piece of advice.
Oh, my greatest piece of advice was
Where has she
definitely-
been?
We don't
She
like
caught
4
up.
people already.
They caught me up, right?
Distracted.
Yeah, that was so good because I didn't have a whole lot. That's what that was. My greatest piece of advice was from my mom, and that was self-acceptance. And she taught me how to just embrace who I am, and whether it be imperfections or differences, and so that was my greatest piece of advice, and how just to be who I am, just to be you and embracing you has been my go-to from my mom.
Amen. D.
Your decision is where your peace is, and that's from our illustrious bishop.
Amen.
And the reason why it means so much to me is so much of our life is about choices. And we wrestle and waste so much energy on things that we're trying to fit into a mold, or we're trying to make work that was never made to work. But we vacillate and spend so much energy. So for me, if there's no peace, I'm not committing to it.
Decision is where you.
Amen. For those of you that's just joining us, thank you. Welcome to the Life of Books. We are doing our Herversation panel today, and we are pretty much just talking to one another and letting you listen. And we are addressing certain topics. I believe that our social media networks went down for a moment. If you are looking online, and it did go out, we are on www.listenvision.com. So if social media has gone out, you can go to listenvision.com and see us there. Again, thank you. We are really enjoying this moment. You got it over there, Laura?
No.
Sean, you want to help her out? Yes.
This thing right here is a little tricky.
Don't fall.
Yes. Well, see what happens when you are live and you can't just go back and stop, pause, and edit and rewind.
I love it though.
Yes. Yes.
It's real.
It's real.
Yes. Raw and unedited. Sharmi came through. Come on, see? She was exactly what we needed in our time of need. Look at that. Yes.
I told you. I knew it was gonna happen. I'm prophetic.
We apologize if we dropped you. Thank you for joining back in, and please share with your social media networks. Again, you can visit us on www.listenvision.com. Listenvisionlive.com. Yes. For me, I have two pieces of advice. I was vacillated. They both mean so much to me, so I decided not to choose one, that I would share both. The first one was from my bishop, and he said, don't ever protect your gift at all costs. Protect the anointing that's on your life. That has meant so much to me. It doesn't need much explaining. You just protect it. And the other thing is what I told myself. I said, be who you needed in the times you needed God the most. And that has been my push. Today we take social media so lightly. But the weight of social media is to be who God has recreated you to be in an audience of people who know who you were. And most people don't understand that God forgives. He sets up high who he wants to. And as Shami said, he can use whoever he wants to. And for me, my flaws made me fearless to minister in low places. Although I can effectively minister in high places, very few people want to go to the low places and bring somebody out. I know what it looks like, and I'm not afraid to go get you. So I just believe that when you see what you've been, go after it to save somebody else. Because somebody came after it to save me. So those are my pieces of advice. Yes. Carry on their minds. Took the time and pray for me. Yes. I'm so glad.
When the non-singers go up.
The shade.
And whatever it was, all together.
I didn't say anything.
I was auditioning for the
You see what happened? Time reveals your haters. You see that? Put some time on it.
Two openers on the praise. They ain't called me yet.
She said it's two openings on the praise team, and they ain't called me yet. Sit back.
Is there something between alto and tenor? 'Cause I seen both of those.
So I think we need a commercial break. I think we need a commercial break.
I love y'all so much.
This is hilarious.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes.
We're back.
I'm sorry.
And we're back.
We need tambourine the next time. Lady Right tambourine.
On the road to promise, we've had highs and lows. And what I want to what I try to get people to always focus on is your highs. And with that being said, let's share with our audience, our listening audience, what your greatest accomplishment to you has been to date. And Shalonda, we'll start with you, Shady Boots.
I'm sorry, but y'all shady too.
I know.
I learned from the best.
This is what makes us great.
Right.
Honey, let me tell you something. You cannot have a soft skin
No, you
around
can't.
these people.
You can't because your feelings get hurt.
Your feelings get hurt. I'm like Shady number one. I'll take my title well. I am.
I would say I couldn't really find, I'm this such an accomplished person, but I was trying to find something that pinpoints my greatest. This is an accomplishment. Can't say if it's my greatest, but it's lab accreditation. Everybody know I work in a lab in one of the local hospitals, and when I took on a leadership position, the lab wasn't in compliance. And so I had to implement processes, change improvement ideas to bring the lab from non-compliance to compliance. And after we did our inspection, we actually passed, and I think I got one citation out of all of it. And no, it was two citations that I had. One was because I wasn't in leadership at that time. They had to cite me for it anyway. And the other citation was something I already corrected to bring that particular test back in house to create revenue for the hospital. So I think that was an accomplishment for me, because
Absolutely.
you can't have a lab operational not in compliance with federal law, state law, the standards of that accrediting body, and to say we were not that we were not in a good place if the inspectors would have walked in at that moment, it wouldn't have been good. But to bring us to a place where we're solid, it means a lot to me, because 80% of what the doctor uses to diagnose that patient comes from me
Yes.
and my team.
That is so
And so you can't be great without us. And to
Amen.
know that I am directly impacting clinical decisions and patient outcomes, that means a lot.
Lord.
So good. D.
Amen. I put connecting with my purpose by far, hands down. I think every good thing that I've touched has been because I'm operating out of what I was graced to do. And I'm just grateful. People spend their whole life trying to find it, and I'm just grateful.
Yes, now that's the truth.
Yes, Lord.
Tashia.
Oh, Mike. I didn't get it.
I make my own.
She's so crazy.
One of my greatest accomplishments, when asked, I thought about establishing a peer mentorship for young ladies, which was the Young Ladies of Distinction program, and just to bring self-awareness with young girls. So, that was one of my greatest accomplishments, just establishing peer mentorship and to be the youth leadership of the gathering with the young ladies.
Amen.
Good, Tata.
Marcy.
So, let's see. I think most recently my greatest accomplishment. So I developed training, and I have recently sort of fallen into a role of business development. So I am going out and getting business for my organization, and I won a 6-figure deal for my organization. So, I'm developing training for a $10 billion organization. And I mean, the numbers, they matter, but it's more so, I'm just grateful for the doors that are opening.
Amen.
So because of that, I have won more business. Like, I'm over my budget, $75,000. I mean, so I'm bringing money into the place where I work every day. And I've recently acquired my first strategic planning client, someone out of Houston, personally.
Amen.
So, I mean, doors are opening.
Amen.
And I'm grateful.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm lots of things happening, but I think,
That's a good one.
and I'm not as comfortable with sales, because business development, you have to go out and sell.
Yeah,
And
you do.
I
Yeah, you
am
do.
used to creating something great and people just coming
Yes.
and wanting it. And the fact that I have to go and I'm giving a seat at the table where no one looks like me. It has been
Very hard.
a good challenge.
Amen.
Certainly stretching, and I'm just grateful for it.
I think my greatest accomplishment to date would have to be the CA. You know, it takes a lot of courage to say yes to something that, even if you feel like it's the right thing, the fear of what if, or the anxiety of what if it doesn't work, or what if, all the different questions you have. So to be able to say yes and then actually do a session, you know what I mean? Like, for me, that was a big deal, because, like, in my mind, like, who would want to hear from me? About, like, even if that is something I do, like, but I'm just saying, like, that those are the things that, like, those are the things that people tend to think. And so to be able to say yes and actually do it was a great accomplishment for me. So.
Yes. Mika.
My greatest accomplishment that I'm choosing to share, I struggle with it, but I think I have spent this summer touching everything that is part of my identity, recognizing that I am in a place of transition. I'm getting ready to get married. Go!
Yes, the wood experience.
Churchill has chosen to unite his life with mine.
Yes.
I couldn't be more grateful, and so in doing so, I have touched everything that has brought definition to Tamika Henry. And I think the accomplishment that I just want to name is living out my independence, personally, professionally, spiritually, academically. I have exhausted looking at self and developing the areas of me that I wanted to develop. And I feel like transitioning into covenant with Churchill is just all new. Like I'm ready to close the chapter and I'm at peace with the chapter closing. And I know what I'll carry with me, but I also have severed what I no longer need.
Yes,
And it's a beautiful place. And so the accomplishment is just living out my own independence, understanding what that means, and being a healthy helpmeet.
Yes, that's so
Girl,
good.
healthy, help me. Go on, girl.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, you will.
I think I echo the sentiments of Tamika. I have many accomplishments, but the one that I want to highlight has been my yes to a woman's voice, and not because of the obvious. My yes to a woman's voice connected me with some very phenomenal women, and namely, it's women who have unfortunately suffered the tragedies of losing their sons. And these ladies remind me how much I have to be grateful for. They keep the sensitivity of life on me, keep me very aware of the sensitivities of life, because sometimes you get very comfortable with what is, and you never think about what if it is not this way. And I love them so much for their strength. They give me, they say that I'm an angel to them, but they have no idea the strength that they possess that is motivation for me. They get up every day. Every day I celebrate the fact that they survived another day. And I thank God for one yes, because it led me to these ladies, and I will forever be grateful for that.
Amen.
Yes,
Amen.
yes, yes. Yes. Well, we've been all heavy and deep and, great and profound. And your words, ladies, have been uplifting to me. I hope that they have blessed the life of somebody that's listening. I told you, I did a live video yesterday, and I said, these ladies are walking wisdom. So it is my hope that as you join the Life of Books online book club today, we're not reading a book. We are doing a Herversation, a girly panel. I pray that some of the words and the meditations of our heart have been a blessing thus far. So we're going to transition a little bit and do something a little bit lighter. And this is probably like my most favorite thing, because as much as I love God and love being all deep and spooky, I'm such a girly girl. I love fashion, and I love stuff, and I love makeup, and I love like books, and so this part of it is going to be a little lighter. It's like the things we love. So we're going to start out with let's start out with our movies. So I asked the ladies what movie.
I had a hard time.
So I'll go first. I'll go first. So for me, the movie just recently came out, and it just touched the depths of every part of who I am. And it was the Meghan Markle and the Prince Harry Lifetime movie. And it touched me because he defied the odds, and he married what would be considered against the grain. And he didn't marry the obvious and the normal, and he didn't care what anybody thought. He loved this woman, and he stood out bold to proclaim that he loved her, and he said boldly, "And I dare you touch her." And that reminds me of how my husband loves me. As many as you know, he got the courage up to love again. And he, in the words of Tamika, which was so great, he asked me to join him on the journey, and we united our lives, and it came with a cost. Because my husband is a general in the kingdom, and as Christians, we're not always forgiving and accepting. So many doors closed when he got the courage to love again, because I'm his second marriage. And people will have a murderer who's been forgiven in their pulpits, and they will have or somebody who raped somebody in their pulpit, because God forgives, but he forgives everybody except somebody that got married again. And that's one of my issues with Christianity. It's just all these politics. And I love my husband because he said, I don't care. The Bible says it's not good for man to be alone. And he loves me so loud and so boldly. And he'd be like, I dare you say something about it. So, I mean, that movie just touched the intimate places of my heart. And he loves me out loud. And so that's why I chose the movie. I love you, boo. If you're watching, I love you. If you're not watching, why are you not watching? D?
I picked The Intern. And the reason why, I think there's so many elements of that movie that represents the strength of life. You know, he was a widow, and he decides to get in a world that's foreign to him, and he offers the wisdom and the strength of who he is, and nurtures while being nurtured in a new reality. And I just love, to me, I think life is being about a life student. You're never high enough to learn. And as we get older, one of the challenges is remaining open to explore and being free in exploring. So I really love that movie. It represents everything that I stand for in so many elements.
At every phase of my life where something different happens, I watch that movie.
It's wonderful.
Because you said it keeps me forever a student. And it always makes me be aware of my surroundings. He was so aware. And he was so balanced. And he was so intentional. And I mean, I love, you're right, that's a great movie. Tashia?
I want Shawnee hogging the mic.
What is the world?
What was the favorite movie about our life?
Yeah, that's a favorite movie.
Sorry. Sleep deprived. It would definitely have to be A Land in Time. It's a children's book that turned movie. You like that?
Tamika would know.
So I'll explain. So it was no dinosaurs. The movie was about, my takeaway from it was the little girl who had to save her family. So she had to overcome her fears and go into like the darkest places. Her dad had disappeared and she had to go, so the brother wanted the father so bad that the family was actually like almost picked or chosen to go places, not usually gone, or just a faraway place. So anyway, so she had to overcome so much evil and darkness, and she could only do it with love and light. And so she was rescuing her family with love and with light, and some very, very dark places. So A Land Before Time. A Land in Time is definitely
I'm gonna let
Is that the right
Shalonda
movie,
go. Shalonda, what is it?
That's not the movie?
You need a minute.
Okay.
Marcy, what's your movie?
What y'all done did to Shalonda?
Y'all know he is. Tamika over here saying.
There's no dinosaurs in my life.
Does she know what they is or not?
Wait a minute. Laura, the researcher, has pulled up the movie bill and it has dinosaurs.
I don't know the whole thing. Even I know that.
Maybe it's a different movie.
I don't remember the dinosaurs. I don't have any dinosaurs in my life.
Moral of the story
got rid of
is
that old
let your
guy.
love save your family.
Because I don't think Tashia saw that movie. I think she probably Googled it on the way over here.
What role did the dinosaur play?
Marcy.
Okay. Well, I picked two movies. So Joy is one movie, and it's about the woman who basically bootstrapped her business and did the mop, and she was like one of the first women to do her own thing on Home Shopping, Home Shopping Network. And the thing that I love about it is like she solved a problem. She was a problem solver, and then she made it work for her finances, and she became wealthy. And what she did in the end was she basically allowed people to bring their inventions, because she was inventive. That was the whole thing. She was inventive as a child. And in the end, once she had been established and became wealthy, she allowed people to bring their inventions to her, and she would give them a chance. She would give people the same chance she had. And I just love the fact that she bootstrapped her business. Like, she, against all odds, she became this, wealthy businesswoman. And she showed her family, and she brought her family along. I just loved it. So I love that, and I love the intern too. I had the intern too. I love different reasons. But anyway, Joy and the intern. I love her strategy and all that. I'm drawn to that. So those are my movies.
Come on, Shamela. Oh, okay. So, as many movies as I've seen, it was real difficult to just pick one. So, I went with my all-time favorite, which is Alice in Wonderland.
Wow.
So, now here's the thing. Like, I've seen every version, every remake. I've seen them all.
Wow.
From, I love the original, everything. So, the reason why I think I chose that one is because of one particular scene. The whole thing is great, but one particular part where she talks about how she had to believe 6 things before breakfast, and then she goes and slays the Jabberwocky, but it's the enemy, whatever you want to call it. But so the fact that she had to, against all odds, she's the smallest thing out there. I mean, she got all this happening around her in a fictitious place, although it seems very real to her. And then she goes and then she kills the thing that's standing in the way of her being free.
Come on, baby Bishop.
And freeing everybody around her.
Yes.
It's supposed
today.
And so the
Alice
fact
in
that Alice in Wonderland. Look, let me tell you something. My favorite book on here is Alice in Wonderland and Philosophy. Like, they have a book. It's a Alice in Wonderland and Philosophy, and I bought the book, and like they break everything down. But again, the movie itself, like, that's just the whole part. And I'm like, wow. Like, I feel like there are things that I have to in my life that I need to, against all odds, just kill. And that would free up everybody else behind me.
Amen.
So, like, it just, whatever. It just,
Let me say something. This is gonna be my sign. You better Alice in Wonderland that thing, Charmy. Come on, Alice.
no, ma'am.
Say no,
No, ma'am.
Shalonda.
I think one of the movies that would describe me would be Hidden Figures.
Oh, yes.
Because
That is very Shalonda.
the science part of it all, to solving those questions that puzzle people, just being in the background.
Yeah.
It was oftentimes the people in the background that's driving
That's the
the
truth.
people forward. And with my professional, that's what I do. I'm in the background. You don't see us, but we here. And without us, you're not going to win. You need us in order to, get your patients in and out, diagnose them correctly. With working on my education, trying to find cures to different things, it's like you always on the verge of something, trying to get an answer to the unknown.
That's very good.
And the answer doesn't always come from who you would expect, what you expect them to look like. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I get tired, and sometimes you don't know who to talk to, because sometimes people don't understand the weight that you carry. And I was speaking to my supervisor, and I was like, I'm kind of tired of doing this, and I really contemplated not necessarily quitting my job, just resigning and just pausing in life. Like, I was just like, this is too much, this is too stressful. I said, I think I want to resign. And one of the things she said, I understand what you're going through, and I understand where you are. She said, it's not many people that can do what you do that look like what you look like, and she was like, I used to be you, and if I can make it, you can too.
Amen.
So there's strength in the people that you really don't think, okay, is this, am I gonna make it through this? And is somebody always there? It's like, I've been where you are, and it's those hidden figures in the background that
so
you never
good.
expect to
That's
get
so
your
good.
answer from. So I'm gonna keep my job so I give God an
Yes,
offering.
Lord. And you have to
Glory to God.
Amen.
and this is the one thing that I said that I will forever say to myself. There are legacies attached to my yes.
Yeah.
There are legacies
Yeah.
attached to your yes.
Yeah.
That's so good. Tamika?
Okay, you're gonna think I'm joking, but I'm not. My favorite movie is Lion King.
I can see that.
in a very deep way. And
I can see that.
Disney has the Holy Ghost because when they wrote this movie, I'm sure, like they do. No, really.
No, really.
No, really. Lion King. For me, the whole theme that speaks the most is no matter how hard you try, you cannot deny who you were born to be.
Yeah.
And so Simba escapes. Tragedy happens as a child. He's born royal, but tragedy happens as a child. He runs and
Come on,
lives in the
prodigal
jungle.
son. Come
I'm
on,
not
prodigal
playing. They had the
son.
Holy Ghost right
Yes.
there. Simba.
Who dropped me?
Come on.
Chef?
Come on.
here.
And he ran and he made himself comfortable
Yes.
amongst people that could not relate to who he was, who did not know his true identity. And these became some of his closest companions.
Come on now. Here.
But Nala went, because he was king, the place that he was to rule over was suffering.
Yeah.
While you're hiding and running. And don't
Drop the mic.
while you're hiding and running, so many are suffering.
That's the truth now.
Yeah.
And he has to make the decision to come back.
Yes.
And when he returns, his kingdom looked nothing like.
Yes.
I mean, it was a tragic state, but he fought for it anyway, and he allowed time to help him make up for the time he'd thrown away. And so there was a king inside Simba, and he couldn't let him die. He couldn't die. Like, he had to remember who he was, come to himself, and return to be who he was born to be.
Amen.
Lion King is my favorite. Churchill took me to see the Broadway. And I just went into an all-out worship at the end because the song was, I'm not joking, like, he was asleep. But I was like, we got touch. It's okay.
Tamika, love covers. You're not supposed to expose
I
those
don't
things.
mind. I get it. So he was but in that,
But he took me though. But I got somebody else
I'm
to take
sitting
me,
in
though.
these seats. You got these tickets. I don't mind sleeping. Baby, I am in. You understand? You understand? The last song is just "He Lives in Me," and I said the advice that stuck with me the most was that everything I ever need is inside me, and so He lives in me. It's unwrap the God in me, right? And that's kind of how Lion King just blesses my life.
God bless
I watched that one time and cried the whole time. I ain't never watched it.
Let's
again.
Lion King is serious.
No.
Yes, that's so good, ladies. That was such a great segment. I love that. Well, y'all, I guess y'all find deep in everything, so we're gonna go real light. Let's talk. Let's talk about
Let me
our.
tell you something. The way these
Let's talk about our favorite beauty products.
about to make this spiritual.
Lord, everybody's a product of Bishop Donald Wright because he get a word out of anything, honey. Let's talk about our favorite beauty products.
All right.
Charmy, let's start with yours.
I better go with me first.
All right, so the thing with natural hair. The thing with natural hair is there's all these different products, and what works for Shalonda hair may not work for my hair, because there's so many different types of textures, so you have to find what uniquely works for you, right? So for me, I've tried Miss Jessie's. I've tried what's the other one that Kinky Curls. I've tried all of those little things, and I feel like I gotta take out. Wait, why is the kid still pulling stuff out of my bag?
What's going on here? You know we only have 2 hours, right?
Like we can't look. Matter of fact, we only got 30 minutes left. So for me, what really works is this Murray's Edge Wax. It has a nice little smell to it, and so this is what I picked up the other day. So I like the can tube products. They work really, really well, but they're their more feminine product doesn't work for my hair. It won't curl it just right. So I got this the other day, men's collection Cantu Shea Butter Molding Wax. And so, whatever again. So what it does is mixed with the two mixed together with the light sponge, just curls it up so nice. Like what I would want to accomplish with Miss Jessie's and the curly pudding, I can accomplish with the both of them combined. So
Because Miss Justice is quite expensive.
and it's quite expensive. So but like this was like what $5 and this was like $7,
God is good.
and this will last me a really long time because you only got to use like a little bit. So.
What?
We not gonna say nothing we live. We on live.
Marcy.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, it's my turn. All right.
Marcy, hashtag Marcy said it. It's her turn.
Oh, so look. So I brought my favorite lip stuff. So I wear. This is my favorite lip stuff right now.
Can you hold the mic for me?
No, I got it.
Okay.
So it's Just Right by Lady Right.
Yeah.
And it is like my favorite nude, especially with my tan. Right? So I was wearing it before I had a tan, but I am in love with it with this tan. I'm like, so I'm wearing this. Of course, I have the liner to go with it, but you know, you can go to awomensvoicematters.net and purchase. I'm not really trying to sell it. I mean, you can see I have it on my lips right now, and if you FaceTime me any day during the week, you will see this lipstick on because I wear it every day. Yeah. Shami wears it
Shami said me too.
Anyway,
No, she did.
and then MAC has this new gloss. It's called Old Sweetie. And this one, even though I don't like the taste of coconut, this one smells like coconut. And I just dab a little bit on. I don't have it on today, but this is also, when I'm not wearing my Just Right, I'm wearing this and a liner. Okay. So this is what I like. I have a lot of beauty products.
Cork is old school.
Yes.
I used to wear cork.
Okay.
She didn't.
Yes, Shami. I feel like Shami being shady.
No, I'm serious.
All right.
When did you ever wear lip liner?
Anyway, that's what I was trying to figure out. I don't recall. Chestnut is what was old. Cork is new. So I don't know what Charmi is talking about. But anyway.
That's why you know she ain't used the word.
That's right. But anyway, these are my favorites right now. So again, you can go to awomensvoicematters.net and buy your lipstick. And you know, this can be found anywhere lipstick is sold. That's it. Is my lipstick still on?
Yes, it is. Yeah. You
Just right.
You got all.
You got enough to buy a new one.
Look, just give me another lipstick.
Right.
My favorite go-to is Maybelline CoverGirl and anything Revlon. I love the lashes in between your mink appointments. This Maybelline lash sensation will extend and make you look like you have on false lashes. Yes. This is a stiletto pen. It's very easy. It's a fine tip, and if you like that line,
I
it's
use
very
that.
easy and very easy.
That's
to,
my
yes,
favorite.
You can't mess it up. It's just like drawing it on. It's a little faded. A palette, a good palette. Everybody needs a palette. I'm not going to turn this palette around, but this is my favorite palette when I don't have to do a whole bunch of applications and don't have time. You grab this palette. They got all colors. It could be anything from your blush. Give me new. And look, one day I just woke up. I don't have eyebrows now, so I have to draw them on. This concealer by NYX.
Yes.
I don't know. My hair follicles have changed after 38.
Oh.
Ish. And counting. And holding. I'm 38 again. And so, yes, but the NYX, once you draw it on, this helps you define it and outline it. And you have to fade this in, though, because sometimes I walk out without fading and I forget. But this is a really good one. And that's it.
I forgot my blender because that's what I forgot to bring the blender because
they have a serum that grows your lashes and your brows. I'll share that with you. It really works.
Thank you.
I need it for my brows.
Yeah, they have it. It really works.
D.
Okay. Since it's summer, and okay, Tasha, I need your arm.
Are we doing testing?
Yes, dry oil.
Oh, I got that. You gave me that.
Yes, so I love it because it dries quickly.
Oh, look how
You're
shiny that
shining,
is.
and it has a nice smell to it. And it's Chance Tender, dry oil. And then grapeseed oil by Nivea, the business. We suffer from dryness. So I carry it in my bag. You'd like some too? I give you a little. I don't want to make it.
I'm gonna tell you which one is the best.
Okay, this one makes you oily, but for our feet.
For our
So,
feet. Elder D is coming from people.
Yes, for the feet.
I want one of these. Can you buy me one of those?
Absolutely.
This is
Yes,
Chanel.
ma'am. And then for face,
I want you to buy me
Josie Moran is one of my go-to for body butter and milk. I ran out of the body butter, but if you're in my life, you always get one. And then
I ain't never had
the
one.
milk.
Either.
No,
Ain't
because
never
you funny acting. But the milk, it costs too much. No, Josie Moran costs too much to waste it on people that's funny about their products. If you ain't sure they're gonna use it, save your coins. But milk for the face, Josie Moran, it's a good moisturizing base
Yes.
for your face.
My
Yes.
favorite.
And food and water, please.
Yes.
Ladies, it will bless your life. Water, necessary. Yes.
It looks like I have a lot in front of me. So I'll start with the foot cream. This Burt's Bees coconut foot cream is so wonderful. It's not, it looks like it's gonna go on greasy, but it dries as soon as it hits your foot. Your foot does not slip. Your feet stay moisturized all day. You don't have, you use it after a while and your heels are soft forever. It's like the best thing ever. These two products are for ingrown hairs. This is Black Opal Even True. It's an ingrown hair soother. And this I actually got from the makeup artist Leilani Cooper. Is that her last name? Yes. Yes. I got this from her. She sells this. I don't believe in 2018 that women should have like that ingrown hair beard. There's so many products that are on the shelf that can help you, and these two things prevent it. I mean, you won't even have the marks on your skin. As soon as you pluck or wax, you put this on and daily, and this I use twice a week because it's so strong, but it ensures that you don't have those dark marks from ingrown hairs, and it prevents them. These are great products. You should have them. If you wear makeup, this keeps your makeup fresher. You won't look dry and matted and casket sharp. Let me make sure I don't look like that.
Can I have some of that, please?
So this is great. It just keeps your makeup fresh and make you look like you are.
What's the name of it?
It's Claudine. It's at Sephora. It is worth. The bigger bottle is $50. I promise you, it's worth. If you wear makeup, it is a great investment. I have Rennie Vasquez is like my ultimate best friend. Like I love him so much, and he always shares the greatest products with me. And Huda has a line of beauty products that is phenomenal. She has this Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette, which is like the best. It gives you the best glow. It is everything. And she has a smoky eye palette, and when I tell you it does everything right by the eye, I cracked one, the best one, but it's best. The Huda brand, you should get this. Now this is my absolute favorite because I will not give up cheese, and Elder D said cheese causes cellulite. So there's this line of products that I absolutely love, and this is by Walida, and I get it from Wegmans, and this is a cellulite oil. When I tell you my cellulite is so good, I mean, it works. It's worth every penny that you'll spend on it. And I use the all over body, so it moisturizes the skin, and it gives you so much consistent moisture that you don't even have to put it on after you get out of the shower. After you've used it, your skin just stays hydrated, and I love it. And the facial cream, oh my goodness, I'm hooked on these products forever. So these are like if I get low, I get nervous. Like this is right here, and I'm already starting to sweat. I got to go get some more. Like these are your go-to habit products. You always have to have them in the house.
Are you donating?
I feel like
I'm not donating anything because I don't have a replacement for tonight, but I can get you some.
I feel like Shalonda should go ahead and create something that does everything in one. Because let me tell you something. Somebody like me ain't gonna use all that stuff every day. Just give me one thing. Just give me one thing that does everything, Shalonda. Thank you.
The fat burner pill. That don't make your heart rate. Don't break my skin out and all that. I
on
need you to
the
get
side
on
of
to
the
that,
I'm gonna get on
doctor.
that. I'm gonna get
We
on
keep
that.
talking about it.
I'm gonna get on it.
How long they been wait? How long do I gotta wait for my eyebrows serum?
That's already
already
made. I didn't make it.
What you got, Shalonda?
I love Murad. They have great products. This one is the Essential C line that they have. They have a for radiant skin. They have the moisturizer, the serum, the everything. I love it. It's the greatest. Bare Minerals. I love Bare
Yes.
Minerals. This foundation. It's everything. They have a wonderful concealer as well, so I use that all the time. And
It's my favorite.
Elder D bought me something a long time ago, like makeup, and I was like, I love this mascara. It is Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. You know, I don't know if it's better than sex. I cannot confirm nor deny. But I love
Good answer.
But I love
Make a better than sex
Amen.
cake.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, she does it.
I have two things.
Use the mic, Mick.
Oh, I forgot. The products that I wanted to share, this is by Waxing Cara, and it's a facial wash. Like, it's a facial cleanser that I use, and it's made using natural ingredients that wouldn't exist without bees. And it's a, so this is a strawberry blueberry bee inspired honey body scrub. They have duos, so you would get the scrub and the butter, but I mix fragrances, right? So there's a scrub that I use, that's a strawberry blueberry, and then this is called A Place in the Sun. That's the butter that I like to put on my face. So
Good.
I like it.
Yes, butter.
Time flies when you're having fun. This has been great. I thank you for joining us. The Life of Books Online Book Club, #1 WLBS Online in the heart of Washington, D.C. Thank you. We do not take your time lightly. That's the one thing you can't get back. So when you offer us your time, the greatest thing that I can offer you is my thanks. So thank you so very much on behalf of all of us. We're going to go around the room and just close up the segment. We've done an array of things in this past 2 hours, and it's just been great. It's been so wonderful. We'll close with if you could share your one slogan or phrase with the world that would motivate someone who's listening, what would that be? And that's how we'll close out the segment.
Okay. So my one slogan phrase would be show up.
Amen.
No matter what. No matter what life looks like, no matter how you feel, get the courage to show up every day. Be present in life.
Amen.
My one slogan would be, whatever you're thinking, think bigger.
Amen.
My one slogan is connect with those that are tied to your destiny.
Amen.
Love wins.
Amen.
I can, I will, I must.
Amen.
You don't waste time waiting on God.
Amen. Live loud, live unapologetically, and live the thing that you were called to do. This has been a great moment. We are looking forward to sharing another moment with you on next month. We have already chosen our book. The book for next month is Braving the Wilderness. Did I say that right? Yes. Braving the Wilderness by Brene Brown. Every child of God has to have a wilderness experience. If you're not in church, every person breathing has to have a low moment in order for you to accomplish, to walk in your promise, and B, to understand why, and C, to maintain it. So Braving the Wilderness is one of those books that is a must read. Everybody does not make it out of the wilderness. We've seen it many times.
Yeah.
And this is one of the blueprints that I think that will help, that has helped me, and I believe that it'll help many others. It is my hope that you'll go out and purchase the book and not just listen to us talk about it, that you'll have your own personal experience, because it is there's no way of escaping your wilderness experience. Everyone has to have it.
No escape.
And knowing the way out is what everybody is looking for and what everybody needs. And Brene Brown has penned some answers on paper that I think that is very good. So between Brene Brown, our Holy Bible, and the teaching of Bishop Donald Wright, next month is going to be off the chain. You have to be present, and you have to purchase the book. Don't gift it to anybody. Let everybody that want that book to sow into their own lives.
Amen.
So go buy the book. Don't even rent it from the library. I promise you, this is a seed sowing book to yourself. Ladies, thank you for sharing this moment with us. It's been great. It's been rich. I thank each and every one of you for joining us. If there's one thing that I could leave with you all, I'll say, we serve a God that can keep you from falling. He'll present you faultless, and he does exceedingly and abundantly great things if you allow him. Everything that happens in life starts with you, and it starts with a choice. And I'll just leave with you. Choose wisely. Until next month. Bye.